Someone needs to stop Arne Slot. In the space of weeks, he's gone from making an already strong Liverpool team even stronger, better, but this time what he's doing is just pure evil. It's insane. He's trying to make this Liverpool team unbeatable. This is more than just a plan to win. This is simply a case of one man, one team deciding to throw everything to the wind and dominate. This is the football Armageddon, and this is how the Liverpool team of 2026 is abnormal. Heads up. If you're a Newcastle fan, you might want to get the tissues in early, because what Liverpool has done in recent weeks has just been evil. Emphasis on the long-term part, because it plays out in the grand narrative of how brutal this new Liverpool is. Hugo Ekitike had been on Newcastle United's watch list for a long while. They were expected to make a bid for him this summer, which they eventually did until Liverpool stepped in, and here's where things get crazy. Liverpool didn't step in to bid for Ekitike directly. Their interest had always been in Newcastle's main man Alexander Isak. Liverpool sent out 2 bids for Isak and reportedly had them rejected. What did Liverpool do? Turn their focus to Newcastle's long-term target, Hugo Ekitike, signed him and announced him a couple of weeks back. But this was only half the plan. Just when it seemed like the saga was over, Isak was reportedly left out of Newcastle's preseason squad because he'd asked to leave. Actually, he didn't just ask to leave, he asked to join Liverpool and was angry that the deal initially fell through. Liverpool, who just signed Hugo Ekitike, became attentive to the situation and as it stands, will sign Isak for what could be a club record fee in a couple of days. In a nutshell, Liverpool took both Isak and Ekitike from Newcastle, the Newcastle team that also left Callum Wilson leave for free, meaning the club is without a recognized central striker this season. Arne Slot and Liverpool? Lethal. It's legitimately scary imagining what this Liverpool team could be next season. Alexander Isak in that team could reach new heights that no one believed were possible. So how do you describe Alexander Isak then? Complete. 23 league goals in the Premier League last season. We're just getting started in the conversation. It's one thing to bag that amount of goals, the second most in the league last season, but then you look at some of the goals. This banger against the Liverpool team he's joining soon. Isak is arguably the most complete striker in the Premier League. It's a bold statement, especially when you consider the same league now has both Erling Haaland and Victor Gyökeres in it. But what Isak can do with a football is just ridiculous. He didn't get the assist here, but it's an example. He took the ball from an impossible position and ran rings around that Everton defense. He's fast, quick, technical, and agile. He can play anywhere across the front line. He starts centrally, but most times you see him end up playing out wide and taking dangerous positions. That's the makeup of the player. Then you factor in what he could be in that Liverpool team as a whole, and it's mind-blowing. The Premier League Golden Boot winner, Mohamed Salah with 29 goals last season. Second in the Golden Boot race, Alexander Isak with 23 goals. Imagine that. Arne Slot could have first and second in the race for the top scorer award last season, a joint total of 52 league goals at his disposal. Isak had an XG of 20.42 last season, ranking him third in the league. He had 46 shots on target, the fourth most in the league. These are indicators that Isak will become a serious goal threat because, with respect to that Newcastle team, the quality of players surrounding him would be much better. But Isak also opens up a serious opportunity for Liverpool which Arne Slot can't pass up. Because of how technical he is, Isak will be a huge asset when Liverpool plays against teams who like to use a low block, which would be almost every week. He had 211 touches in the opposition's box last season, the second most in the league. I mean, he's like that Guy Mowbray line from FC 25. Get close to him, he'll spin in behind, back off, and he'll turn and run at you. Isak would be an incredible addition to this Liverpool team. He just adds quality to a position where actually they've already added quality. With all the news about Isak, Hugo Ekitike is the guy Liverpool fans could be wanting to see soon. He rejected Newcastle's offer to join Liverpool, but unlike Isak's case, Ekitike is a different profile. He's a striker, but so much more. On the surface, his goal count doesn't scream like the type of striker Liverpool should be paying £79 million for. 15 goals in the Bundesliga last season, 8 assists, 23 league contributions. Not bad, but actually when you look at the options Liverpool used in the actual number 9 position, Darwin Núñez and Diogo Jota, may his soul rest in peace, none of them managed double digits in league goals last season. That's the angle of the goals getting better. But when you watch him play, Ekitike tends to surprise people. He's not a traditional number 9 in the sense that he doesn't stand and wait for the ball. He'd rather drop deep or come out wide to receive the ball on his feet and engage in one-on-one situations. Loves playing 1-2s with teammates. It's like watching Roberto Firmino, but is a pressing machine. Despite many of Frankfurt's pressing numbers being in the lower half of the Bundesliga standings, Ekitike ranked in the top 7 players for pressures applied in the opposition's half and pressures applied in the final third. 15.3 high pressures applied per 90 in the Bundesliga for Frankfurt last season, more than any of his teammates. Yes, there have been doubts raised over his finishing, but this is just a case of Ekitike improving at Liverpool. In the top 5 European leagues, Ekitike was one of 4 players to play at least 1,500 minutes and average both more than 4 shots and over 7 touches in the opposition's box per 90. The remaining 3, Ousmane Dembele, Kylian Mbappe, and Lamine Yamal. Ekitike has the potential to become scary at Liverpool. Imagine a system where Slot gets to use both him or Isak in attack, or both at the same time, or none. Why none? Well, that's because if Slot decides to play the false 9 system and drop either, then that's where the Premier League's most expensive signing comes in. Florian Wirtz, Liverpool's new attacking midfielder, £116 million from Bayer Leverkusen. Florian Wirtz is the new generation for Liverpool. Why? Because he can be anything he wants him to be, and for Arne Slot, a player like that, he's everything. Florian Wirtz is an active goal threat. Only one player under the age of 23 has had more league goal involvements across the last 2 seasons than Wirtz. He had 31 goal contributions, 16 goals, and 15 assists for Leverkusen last season. The only Liverpool player with more goal contributions than Wirtz was Mohamed Salah. Starting to see the idea now, he can get on the end of things and create them, but the goals and assists are just the beginning because Wirtz offers so much more. He's a dribbling wizard. He completed the most dribbles in the Bundesliga with 82 and completed the most take-ons with 313 last season. Across the last 2 seasons in Europe's top 5 leagues, only Lamine Yamal, Mohamed Kudus, and Jeremy Doku have completed more dribbles than Florian Wirtz's 161. Chance creation? You'd have guessed it from his assists tally. Think of Wirtz as a GPS when it comes to finding teammates. He ranked first in the Bundesliga for through balls with 49 and first for completed layoff passes with 123 last season. Across the last 2 seasons, only Mohamed Salah, Martin Odegaard, Bruno Fernandes, and Cole Palmer have created more chances than Wirtz's 124 from open play, 1,790 final third passes last season, the second most in the Bundesliga. Since he made his debut in the Bundesliga in May 2020, Wirtz has created 253 chances from open play, including missing almost 2 seasons out with an ACL injury. Only Thomas Müller has created more chances in that period. He topped the Bundesliga last season for making and receiving progressive passes. From these stats, it's very clear that on the ball, Wirtz is brilliant. But off the ball, he's equally as impressive. Wirtz is a pressing machine. He had the most high turnovers of any player in the Bundesliga last season, 1.25 per 90. Factor this stat into the last 2 seasons and Wirtz has had 71 high turnovers, 15 more than any other player in the competition. Led the Leverkusen team with 679 pressures applied in 9 Champions League games last season. Wirtz is a footballer. You can't say this about a lot of players in the modern game. By this, what I mean is Wirtz can play anywhere and still have a solid impact, whether it's in attacking midfield as 10, on the left, or even as a false 9. That versatility is what is available to Liverpool and Arne Slot this season. It seems Arne Slot must have enjoyed shopping in the Bundesliga this season because even before he got Ekitike and Wirtz, he'd already made a move for another Leverkusen star. Jeremy Frimpong, Leverkusen's right wing back, Florian Wirtz's bestie. Jeremy Frimpong is an important signing to this Liverpool team that doesn't need too many stats to understand why. With Trent Alexander-Arnold gone, there's a lack of depth in the right back position, and he immediately fills that. Then you look at what he was able to achieve at Leverkusen, and it's astonishing. Frimpong had 5 goals and 12 assists from right wing back last season, 30 goals and 44 assists in all competitions as a Leverkusen player. What Liverpool is getting is an active defensive goal threat. There's been talk about whether or not he can defend, but people tend to forget Frimpong started as a right back at his Manchester City Academy days in Celtic. He played as a right back at Leverkusen before Xabi Alonso took over. The point is that the right back role isn't new to him, but at Liverpool, Arne Slot has the option of playing him in multiple positions. He can play at right back as he has done for Liverpool in pre-season already, but like he does for the Dutch national team, Frimpong can also play at right wing. He can become a possible Mohamed Salah replacement down the line or in a couple of months when he goes to the African Cup of Nations. With his pace, Frimpong's ability to hug the width and cover yards fast means Mohamed Salah gets even more space to play infield. It's not rocket science. Frimpong making overlaps into opposition defenses, Salah cutting infield and shooting, orgasmic stuff. At left back, Slot has also continued the upgrade. And no, this one wasn't from Germany or Leverkusen. It's one of the best young fullbacks in the world, Milos Kerkez. At 21 years old, his ceiling is high. Anyone who watched him play last season knows what he's capable of producing. Assists like this alongside solid defensive effort. He's a creative fullback. He finished 6th amongst defenders for crosses with 142, 7th for chances created from open play with 34, and joint 4th for successful final third passes with 370. He ranked 3rd for the most distance covered among Premier League fullbacks and 3rd for the most sprints. Top 20 in the same category for interceptions with 1.21 per 90 and ball recoveries at 4.55 per 90. With Kerkez, Arne Slot has his ideal Andy Robertson replacement long-term. He's still only 21. Every indication he will get better. By the time you add the signings of Ekitike, Wirtz, Kerkez, and Frimpong, it brings Liverpool's total spend to £269 million in this transfer window alone. The deal to sign Isak is expected to be above the £110 valuation mark. Add this estimate to the figure, and it brings the tally up to £379 million. Now, you're probably wondering how Liverpool and Slot can spend this much without getting scared of potential PSR rules, but that's just down to smart spending. They only spent £12.5 million in the summer window of last season to get in Federico Chiesa. They generated £60 million in player sales. In fact, that figure becomes higher this season after Luis Diaz is set for a medical ahead of a £75 million move to Bayern Munich. There are still expected outgoings for the likes of Darwin Núñez and Harvey Elliott. The point is, Liverpool is so well run as a club and has spent considerably less than expected, all within fair play rules. Add these new signings to the team, and Arne Slot might as well own the kitchen because he will cook. The crazy part about these signings is how well they complement each other, particularly the outfield players. Take Mohamed Salah, for example. Yes, he scored 29 goals last season, but he also notched up 18 assists. That figure could honestly have been more, but for poor finishing. With the likes of Ekitike and Isak, who posted better numbers than the options Liverpool had in central positions, that's already an upgrade. If Salah isn't creating himself, then imagine him getting on the end of through balls from Wirtz. He will be able to do this a lot more often because Jeremy Frimpong comes in to hold the width on the right, can also get on the end of balls from Kerkez on the opposite flank like he used to from Andy Robertson. It's the same for the outfield options in attack. With Luis Diaz gone now, we could see a version of Cody Gakpo at Liverpool that hasn't been unlocked. Given how he played last season, he could make that left slot his own, but of late, a new whizkid could be in the works for Liverpool. Rio Ngumoha, he's still only 16, yet he's one of the brightest young talents in the team right now, already playing for the first team at his age. Brazy. In midfield, it's exciting stuff for Liverpool. The duo of Alexis Mac Allister and Ryan Gravenberch, the young player of the league last season, is expected to continue. With Florian Wirtz in the team, it adds depth to that advanced attacking position where Dominic Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones played last season. In midfield, options like Trey Nioni from the academy make the picture. The truth is, Liverpool is stacked in almost every major area, down to the goalkeeping positions as well. Alisson is still number one. They lost Kayman Kelleher to Brentford, but at the same time added Georgi Mamardashvili and Armin Pesci to increase the depth. Now, I did say Liverpool is stacked in almost every position, and that's because in defense things look a bit flat. Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate, and Joe Gomez. Those are the only solid options at centre-back for Liverpool. Jarell Quansah left the club to join Bayer Leverkusen in a deal that could be worth £40 million. It could be a cause for concern in the coming years for Liverpool, but seeing how they've handled transfers over the years, they will find solutions. In all, this Liverpool team is scary. So much attacking depth. If it all goes according to plan, Arne Slot could build a team that could win everything in England, just like Hansi Flick's Barcelona did in Spain last season. Flick's Barcelona has strengthened the squad by signing Marcus Rashford, but the truth is that he was the third choice. Click the next video to find out why the first choice, Nico Williams, rejected Barcelona.